How's everybody doing? Okay, got this thing going. Say hi to me in the chat. Okay, all right, say hi to me in the chat. Tell me where you're from. Tell me if this is if this is your first time, if you're a newbie, if you have if you own a storage facility, put that in the chat. I'd like to hear from you guys and see kind of where you're at, okay? Now, I have a cold, just FYI to everybody, and I'm not feeling good actually right now, and I have been coughing all day. So I probably should have canceled this, but I didn't. So if I start coughing and stuff, then like I'm gonna put it on mute, I'm gonna put the video off, and then I'll just like go through my coughing fit and then I'll come back on. So y'all just have to be patient with me, okay? All right, so and then this is a quick reminder to everybody that's new that every Monday I teach something different. All right, and the goal is, in the next 90 days, if you can come to the next 90, the 90-day sessions, then you should be able to get something under contract, right? That's the goal. And that's for people that, that's for people here that are like, you know what, like this is something that I really want to do. And actually in my sessions, I'm actually teaching. Okay, so this is not like high level overview. This is like, how do I really like do things in here? And I can't teach everything about storage investing in, 45 minutes. I just can't do that, right? So we do Monday sessions every Monday. And the way we do it is like the first Monday of the month is self-storage 101. I kind of go over I do like a high level on that one. I give you kind of a brief overview of how the process works and stuff. And then on the next Monday, the next Monday in the month, we do find them, and then the next Monday is fund them, and the next Monday is run them, right? So that's like 4 weeks, right? That's 4 total weeks. And then if there happens to be a 5th week in the month, then we do like a bonus session, like maybe we'll have like one of my students or something come, okay? So anyway, so that's how it is. So we're trying to be a little bit more clear about that because we're getting some feedback that's like, hey, I came to your webinar and I thought I was going to learn everything in 1 hour on what to do. But the truth is that you really can't learn everything because storage is complicated, commercial real estate is complicated. So I break it down into like 45-minute sessions every week on Monday. So you're more than welcome to join as many as you possibly can. And the more that you come to, the more clear this industry is going to be. Okay, so that's the purpose of this. Now, also together with my course, right? If you have my course, right? And if you have the deal analyzer and you have the Monday night sessions, I mean, that should be like a pretty good DIY like right there, And you could be able to just, go through on your own time. And then if you need somebody to hold your hand, walk you through, tell you what to do, have somebody to hold you accountable, then we have the coaching. So if you're interested in any one of those things, you can always go to stacyrossetti.com and check all that out. Okay. But, just coming to the Monday night sessions is just going to take, I'm only teaching 45 minutes of the basics is what I'm doing. Okay. All right, I'm going to grab a tissue just in case too as well. Hang on just 1 sec. Okay. All right, let's get started. All right, so this is going to be finding them today. That's what I'm going to talk about. And I see there's a lot of people here, so say hi to me in the chat because I want to kind of say hi to everybody too. And this is live stream, so I appreciate everybody that's watching live as well. We have California. John is in California. Gerald is in Detroit. And Jessica doesn't say where you're at actually, but it says hi there. First time looking to purchase a self-storage facility. Cool. And then we have Andrew is here. Andrew from Lake Lafayette. Cool. Nice to see you. Got to put in the chat how your deal's doing. All right, so I can know. Give me an update. And then Jojo from Southern California. And Ann is the first time I met. Okay, good. So welcome, Ann. Okay, you're in the right place. If you want to learn how to invest in self-storage, you're in the right place because that's what I do is I teach people how to do this. Okay. Alan from Santa Barbara, new to storage, been multifamily in short-term rental or rentals mostly. Okay, good. All right. Well, I'm going to tell you can make way more money in storage. Just FYI. If you actually learn how to do this, the cap rate and the cash on cash is like way better here. But that's our secret. So don't let anybody else know. And it's like That's a secret. Okay, Ann is from Houston. Okay, good. Gerald, hey, everybody, good. So thank you. I appreciate. Yeah, I've been sick. I started feeling sick on Thursday, and my sister's been not my sister. My daughter's been sick for about like a week or maybe 10 days, and then so of course she got better, and then I got sick. Okay, Robert is from Atlanta. Jessica's from Seattle. Okay, cool. And then Luther's here. Hey, Luther. Okay, Luther's on my team. Richard, and we got a couple students here as well too. So welcome to all the students. And excuse me, we had our two-day boot camp, like maybe not this past weekend, but the weekend before. Excuse me. And so we had like a good amount, like 45 students show up. It was like awesome. And they listened to just like how to get started and stuff. So yeah, we typically do our boot camps for students only. So the doors open for the next session for our students in May. So if you're the type of person that's like, I really want to do a boot camp and have some hand holding and have like a community that I'm surrounded with, that is what the coaching and the mastermind is for. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna take a drink and then we're gonna get started on finding 5 ways to find self-storage. And actually, if you were at my boot camp, or if you're a student, or you have my course, do me a favor, excuse me, and put in the, hang on, which I'm gonna cough just 1 second, hang on. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so do me a favor and put into the chat. I'm also like sweating too, just FYI. But do me a favor and put into the chat, a way that you learn how to find, or what is one of the ways that you learn how to find a storage, right? You can share with everybody else. What's one of the ways that you learn how to find a storage, or what are you doing right now to look for self-storage? I'm going to tell you, let me see. This is finding them. I'm going to start right there, I think. Yeah. I have to start this. Okay. Oh, I forgot to share this too. Let me share this. Okay, this is not it. Okay, got it. Share. Oh, no, not Google Maps. Like Canvas, window, entire screen. No, live Canvas. We'll share that and we'll switch over later. Okay, so y'all can see that. Perfect. Okay. Finding them. I'm still trying to figure out this thing. I just got it like last month, so we're still trying to figure it out. Okay. So my favorite way to find property, to find facilities, is Google Maps. Because guess what? Y'all tell me this. Okay? When you let's just pretend you're a tenant. All right. And you want to rent a storage facility, right? Where would you go to rent a storage facility? Put it into the chat. Put it into the chat. Okay. Okay, one person answered me. Thank you, Jessica. Good. No, Jojo did too. Okay, good. I would just go to Google, right? Google Maps is actually the fastest growing search engine in the country. Okay. And you need to be able, you get on if you're an owner, you get onto Google Maps for your business so that people can find you on Google Maps, right? So as an owner, you want to have Google business listings, right? Okay, so as an owner of a storage facility, in order to get the highest amount of rentals possible, you put your facility on Google Maps, right? Super complicated to do this, just FYI, okay? I don't know if it's called Google Business Listings or Google Profile or Google My Business or whatever it's called, because they change all the time. You guys can tell me, okay? But essentially, as an owner, whether or not you're CubeSmart or you're like AAA storage, right? You need to, this is horrible. Hang on just one second. Okay, I apologize. I think I'm good now. Let's see. I don't know. Anyway, so Google Business Listings is very hard to get on. But you know, as a business owner, you want to go through the process of getting on Google Business Listings so that you can be on Google Maps. Now, what Google is doing is they're going to combine all this. That's what they're doing. And they're in the process of Google Business Listing and Google Maps can be one. So essentially, as a business owner, in order to get your business onto Google Maps, you would be going onto Google Maps and filling out a profile. Right, so that's kind of changing, and actually over the course of the last 5 or 6 years that I've been doing this, like it's changed and evolved, right? Because Google Maps has really grown in the last like 5 years. All right, that's how fast it's growing. Hang in there with me. Okay. So you want to, for you to be able to find facilities, you want to go onto Google Maps and search storage near me. Okay. And actually, that's going to be one of the best ways for you to start getting familiar with all of the storage facilities in your area. All right. Whether it's in Seattle, or it's on the outskirts of Seattle, or it's in the country, wherever you're located, right? And so Google Maps is going to be one of the best ways to find storage and to really do what I call market research. I feel like it's kind of passing. All right, and so with Google Maps, or you can virtually drive for storage. All right, so this is kind of like one, right, which is like a 1A. And then you have a 2, which is actually driving for storage. I call it hashtag driving for storage. That's my hashtag. I took that hashtag, it's mine. Okay. So when you're out driving for storage, put hashtag driving for storage and then tag me. If you're a friend of mine, tag me so I can know that you're driving for storage as well too. But so we're going to work with this today. We're going to work with Google Maps and just really like searching on Google Maps to see how we can find facilities. Let me switch over so we can start playing around a little bit. Okay. That's pretty good. Okay. So we're here. You can see us. There's Pete. There's my husband. Okay. All right. So you can see where we're located is in Tallahassee. Okay. And so what I'm going to do is come to Google and just type in storage. Okay. And then search. Okay. Let's do storage. Let's do storage near Tallahassee. See if it comes up. Or I say search this area. It's not probably not. It's like every time you come to Google, it's like different. Okay, hang on, let me see. Am I too far out, maybe? Yeah, there it goes. Okay. Okay, so I'm in Tallahassee. Tallahassee has, am I muted? No, okay, good. Tallahassee has about 200,000 to 300,000 people. Thanks. Yeah, I should have cough drops. Thank you, Christine. I should have those, but no, I don't. Okay, so Tallahassee has 200 to 300 people. 200,000 to 300,000 people. Okay, so this would be considered a primary market. When you look at this, screen, right, you're going to want to like look at what types of facilities there are. So there's a StoreQuest. And it's like, you can look at, actually it's better to look at the photos here, probably. You can look at all the photos. Yeah, you can look at it. It looks kind of like, looks newer, but it has some outdoor storage. See if I can get some better pictures of this. There it is. It's not letting me open it up. Well, you can see the inside. It's basically indoor StoreQuest. You can look at the pictures to see what it looks like. Okay. And then you can look at the Google listing. And you can see what's on the Google listing. So you see there's the address. Actually, there's the name of the facility. There's the reviews. 293 reviews. How do they do that? So like, what are they doing to get 293 reviews? They have such a good system set up for that, right? And Tallahassee is so the address, the time frames, they're closed. It opens at 9 a.m. That's weird. Let me see. Oh, so they're only open 9 to 6. That's interesting. So they're not 24 hours. All right. So somebody sits there, I'm assuming, and kind of like mans this. StoreQuest is the website, phone number. So everything's filled out nicely. All the reviews are here. You can read the reviews. Okay. So the reason I'm showing you this is because not only is this in a primary market, but also you get a feel for kind of what the facilities look like and what the Google listings look like. Okay. So there's different types of Google listings. And I'm assuming that they're all going to be good here. Like there's a Fort Knox storage here, Fort Knox there. There's a Storage King and a Storage King. There's one CubeSmart. There's one extra space. So you can tell that Tallahassee's like, it's a big city, but it's not like a metro main city, right? It's not going to be like a Nashville or Orlando or something like that. So I'll call these cities sub-primary cities. Sub-primary. So there's primary, where it's like you're opening it up and there's only CubeSmarts, extra spaces, U-Hauls everywhere, right? It's all the big players. And then you have like sub-primary, which is like smaller cities that are bigger in your state, right? And they and they'll have like maybe 1 or 2 REITs, but they'll have like a lot of, these are all mom and pop owners. A lot of them are. Now, Storage King, that's like kind of a bigger one in the Southeast. You'll start to really get to know the bigger players that are like in your sub-primary and then your secondary markets. Okay. Okay. So we're here in Tallahassee, and I've driven and I've looked at all these storage facilities, and they're all big, they're all bigger facilities. But like, so for instance, this CubeSmart right here, this thing is ugly. It's ugly. It is not nice. Look at the picture. Look at the main picture. Is like this ugly, like, I guess maybe they're building something. I'm not sure. So whoever's managing, actually CubeSmart is probably managing this facility, but they don't own it. They're probably just managing it. And also CubeSmart, I don't think their management is very good, honestly. I've heard a lot of really bad things about them. So, so this one here, you could tell me, you could, this CubeSmart here, let's take a look at it one more time. CubeSmart. No. I'm not having a very good day today, am I? I'm bored. Okay, let's do Storage King. Okay. This one's outdoor storage. It's kind of bigger. It's got 25 4-star reviews. You can look through and start really kind of getting to know everything. Let's do Otter Storage. Otter Storage, okay, so here's kind of a smaller one, and it's got 31 3-star storages. 3 stars, okay? It's an outdoor one, it's typical. It's probably bigger, honestly, it's probably a bigger one. But so there's different, like within any market, if it's primary or secondary or tertiary, there's like different levels of facilities as well too. Like obviously the StoreQuest is doing great. Everybody's saying it's awesome, it's amazing, it's the best storage facility. And then you come through here and you have like the 3-star reviews, and you can read the reviews. Just doing work for the owner. I just didn't have any way to or place to trash it. I just didn't have any way or place to trash it. Okay. A man who claimed to be the manager called back. Okay, here's one. 5 months ago. Terrible. Oh man, so bad. Multiple rent increases since they took over. Here's what your hard-earned money will get you. A total lack of on-site management. See, that's good. That's a good review right there, huh? So I guess maybe there's new management, they're trying to clean it up. But but I would put this down as like a warm lead in a sub-primary market. Okay, that's what I would do. A warm lead in a sub-primary market. Okay. If you can afford something like this, right? If you can afford like a bigger deal. Okay. All right. That's the primary. That's like primary, sub-primary. Excuse me. So let's move over to like a secondary market. Okay. I'm over here in Tallahassee. I would consider maybe Panama, the beaches over here. I'd probably consider these like secondary markets. So let's do storage near storage. Oh, actually, let me just storage. Search this area. Let's see if we come up with Panama City. Okay. Yeah, see? Let's get some storage in here. Let's see what it looks like. Okay. So you got Storage King, CubeSmart, Self Storage Plus, Southern Storage, Panama City Beach. I'm gonna zoom in just a little bit more. I feel like there should be more. Let's do storage. Let me just X out of this and do storage again. Storage. Panama City. Panama City Beach right here. Okay. Okay, so that's it. We got just bigger players here. So it's the same as Tallahassee. It's like bigger players. Let's scroll in. Go out a little bit and see. Let's scroll. Let's go. Maybe that's too small. Let's see. Let's do. Hang on just 1 second. I'm gonna cough. Sorry about this. I'm screwing everything up tonight. I apologize. It's just not working. I'm not sure. Let me see Panama City. Let me unshare this. Let me see. Get back in. Let me see if I can restart it or something. Maybe it's stuck. I think I'm just not thinking straight is what it is. I'm really not thinking straight. Can you guys see what I'm seeing? Okay. That's the issue, so I apologize. Okay, let's do it again. Okay, let's start again. Okay, all right, let's do storage. Let's try to find some more. Let's go to, okay, let's go here. Let's see if we can do Valdosta. We've got monster storage. Let me see if I can pull it up. It's not, for some reason, it's not pulling up. Let me see. Okay, here it is. Okay, here it goes. Okay. There it goes. Okay. So Valdosta is a town of like 75,000 people. Okay. So now we can start looking here. Oh, this is horrible. Oh my gosh, this is like so bad, y'all. Ugh, I'm so sorry. I feel so bad. I don't know why. I don't know why I can't do this. This is so bad. I'm usually on top of it, you know, and I'm just like not feeling well. Ugh, it's horrible. I'm like sweating. I don't know. I'm gonna do my best. I promise y'all. But y'all have to come back next Monday because I know I'm doing really bad right now. Okay. Ugh, I'm just not feeling well at all. Okay. All right. So, okay, let's do bills. I've been to this storage facility. I've been to this one. I think I feel like I need to meditate or I need to like calm myself down. You know, you get like super like anxious and it's like just doesn't work. Ugh. Okay. So Valdosta has a population of 75,000 people. And the reason I know this because we have a storage facility here, which is funny, it's not even coming up. So I'm not sure why, but and this one is Bill's self-storage. And you see the picture on here, it's like a horrible picture. But he's got 24 5-star reviews. So he must be doing something right. Bill must be a nice guy, right? Yeah, Bill's a really nice guy. That's what it's saying. It's saying Bill's a great guy. Right here. This was 3 months ago, very rude and condescending. All right. But overall, he's a pretty good guy. So he's got everything all filled out properly the way he should on Google Maps. And then actually, let me see. Let me go into satellite view. And let's see what it looks like. This is it. Oops. I'm trying to go slow. Let's take a look at this. Yeah. Okay. So here's the facility itself. This is what a storage facility looks like from above, right? And you can see it's kind of bigger. It's got 4 buildings. It's got some parking. So even though his office, here's his little office right here. That's the picture of it. Even though his office is kind of weird looking, the facility itself looks really nice. It's all asphalt and stuff, right? But you know, you can put it on the list. You can talk to Bill. You never know. Maybe Bill wants to sell. All right. And let's see what else. The one thing I wanted to point out about this is that there's no like CubeSmarts. There's no extra space storages. There's no REITs in Valdosta. So Valdosta, with a town of 75,000 people, which actually really isn't a very small town. There's there's no bigger players here, which gives us little people an opportunity to get in there and do something, right? You can see that there's now obviously inside the city 10 federal storage. If y'all don't know about 10 federal storage, I would just Google them. But they started out like I think maybe 5 or maybe 8 years ago or something like this, or not. They've been around for about as long as I have. And they started buying like properties in secondary markets, and then they go in and they just like revamp the whole thing and make it look beautiful. This is their colors. This is red and this brown. They paint their facilities, they fix them up, they do everything. Okay. And they are also they have a kiosk where you can go and you can you can rent a place for the kiosks, and they have their own technology and stuff. And so they started out like 5 years ago in they did like smaller deals, but they have a fund and they raise money, and that's what they do is they buy them, they make them, they put like brand new security cameras, paint them, and do all kinds of stuff. And that was so funny because they started out with their first fund was $10 million. They came in and bought a whole bunch of storage facilities in the Southeast. How many, whatever, 5 or 6, whatever they did with the $10 million. And then they did the next fund they did was $20 million. And then they bought more facilities with the $20 million only in the Southeast. And now I think they just finished a fund for $30 million. And then they bought more facilities in the Southeast. That's where they are. And so over the course of the last 5 years, I've seen them. Now, they were also in the multifamily sector for quite a long time. And then they moved over to storage. I think that's what they're doing now, is just storage. Because I tell you, there's more money in storage than multifamily. And so this is kind of what they do. But they only come into like secondary markets. That's it, just a secondary market. And so the purpose of me just telling you that is that when you really start to get to know your market, you're going to get to know who the players are. You're going to start seeing, now obviously everybody knows the big ones, right? But the truth is your competition is going to be this, or in a tertiary market, maybe it's like a mom, like maybe an owner that has like 3 or 4 facilities that are like kind of the same like us. Like we would be like very good tertiary market competition for you, right? And so that's the purpose of me just having you, look at your markets. So this would be a secondary market, and you really want to click on them, look at every single one, look at their Google business listing, and then you start differentiating, which ones, like this one obviously is a bigger player and they're kind of all over the place, but some of them might not be, they might still be a mom and pop in the secondary market. Okay. And so that's exactly what happened to us. So we bought a facility. It's actually right here in Bemis, which is a sub-secondary market. So it's really considered Valdosta, honestly, but it's like, it's a suburb of Valdosta, right? Let me see if it will come up. I'm not sure. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, here it is. Okay. We bought this one right here. Metro Mini Storage, which should say miscellaneous, but it doesn't. And let me see here. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, this is it. Oh no, this is it. Oh yeah, this is okay. We do come up good. Okay, look, here's Kingsgate Storage. Look how big this storage facility is here. It's massive. This is our competition right here. And this is our competition. They're always full. Always full. all this huge, and they have several of them in the area. So it's like, it's our competition, but it's a kind of a bigger player. And then Miss Lily's, this is us, a little tiny facility. It's right here, it's got 4 buildings, 1, 2, 3, or I mean, it's got 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 rows. Got a lot of buildings. And so this particular facility is in a sub-secondary market. It's a suburb of a secondary market. Okay, so at that time, I couldn't afford to go into Valdosta because Valdosta is a little bit more too expensive for me, right? So I was really focusing on sub-secondary markets, suburbs of secondary markets. And then I would call all the owners and I would drive there and I would I found this one driving for storage, but I would call the owners and I would talk to them. I couldn't afford being inside Valdosta, but I can certainly afford to be outside Valdosta, right? So I picked up this facility here. This has 120 units. Okay. And it's probably valued at over $1 million. But the owner, when I talked to the owner, he didn't even know how many units he had. He told me he had 105 units. And when we went to go count the units and stuff, he had 120. All right. So, and it looked severely mismanaged. It looked mismanaged, which is what I look for. And so what happened was I called the owner. I was driving for storage. We found it on Google Maps. And actually, the reason that we picked this one is because Metro Mini Storage is here, which is the wrong address. And that's something that you'll find a lot, is you'll find the wrong address on Google Maps. And you'll say, okay, if it's the wrong address, this is it again. So this has never been claimed because it was obviously the wrong address. But you see, there's no website, just a phone number. And there's 1 3-star review, and that's it. All right, so for me, that was like a sign that this one probably needed to be driven by or called. So we called this number, and a lady answered, and I said, hey, I'm just calling about your storage facilities. Are you the owner? She said, no, I'm the manager. I said, oh, okay. And I said, well, do you have any storage facilities to rent? I'm looking for one. And she was like, what size do you need? And I was like, I'm not sure. Now, when a manager answers the phone, when I call, like, I immediately just pretend like I'm a tenant. So I don't really talk to them and ask them if they want to sell, because the manager is always going to tell you no anyways, right? So I said, I'm looking for a storage facility. And I was like, do you have any available? And she's like, I'm gonna have to go and look which ones are available. That's what she said. She's like, I'm gonna have to go over there and look to see which ones are available. And I was like, oh. And then when she said that, I was like, I just in my mind automatically knew, like, I need to be asking more questions and stuff. So I was like, okay, well, I'm definitely interested. I was like, what about the owner? Do you think he'd be interested in selling? And she was like, I'm not really sure. She said, she's like, I don't know, maybe, I said, can I get his phone number so I could talk to him? And she said, yeah, she just gave me the phone number. And I was like, and the only reason I asked for the phone number of the manager of the owner from the manager was because the way that she was talking to me, she didn't even really want to go down there and take a look at the thing. So I was going to call up the owner and just be like, your manager sucks, just so you know. And so that's basically what happened, is that she gave me the phone number. And I was sitting, excuse me, I was sitting right here. Actually, when I called, I was right in front of the facility. We had found it, we drove to it, and then I was sitting right in front of the facility and I called them. And when he answered, the owner answered, I said, is this Sammy? And he said, yeah, he was screaming. Because he was so old and he was deaf. And so I started screaming. I was like, Sammy, I was like, this is Stacy. Excuse me, he said, how can I help you, Stacy? That I want to buy your storage facility. And he said, oh, you need a unit? And I said, no, I want to buy your storage facility. And there was like a long pause. I was like, okay, I was about to say it again. I'm gonna buy your storage facility. And then he said, where are you? And I said, I'm in front of your storage facility right now. And he said, I want $300,000. That's what I want. And I said, okay, I'll pay $300,000. And then there was like another long pause. And he said, can you come over here? And I was like, yeah, I'll come over. He's like, I live right around the corner. So I did. Like right after that, I drove over to his house. And we sat for like 2 hours, older guy, probably about 88 or something. And I sat in his living room and we talked for like 2 hours. And he said, I just got to know him. He told me his life story. And I said, okay, I was like, I'm very interested in your storage facility, Sammy. I said, you said you want 300,000, right? And he said, yeah, I want 300,000. And I was like, okay, I will pay 300,000 if you want me to, but I really would like to have 250 or 275. If you could do that, that'd be way better for me, because there is a lot of work that needs to be done on this thing. And he was like, Stacy, I really like you. He's like, I'll do 275. So I got it for 275. Remember, I told you this facility is worth like $1 million, over $1 million. Now, obviously, I knew how much this facility was because I just know storage. All right. But for you guys are going to want to go there, talk to the owners, meet them, get to know them, because they're going to sell it to you if they like you. That's it. Only if they like you. All right. And then you're going to want to get the information that you need in order to run the DOE analysis. Right. And that's going to be the main thing. And obviously in the beginning, you're not going to be able to run the DOE analysis. But all I did was look on Google Maps, create a list of facilities, on Google Maps. And I looked in, sub-secondary markets. Okay. Now, I couldn't afford secondary markets, so I looked at sub-secondary. Now I could probably afford secondary. I can afford primary now. Sub-primary. I can't afford primary. I can afford sub-primary. Like I could buy something in Tallahassee, right? In Valdosta, downtown Valdosta. Okay. But I started out in tertiary markets, sub-tertiary markets, and then I just kind of moved my way up, is what I did. Okay. Now, a tertiary market, let me see. Let me show you this one, just so you have an idea. Okay. Search. I can find one screens. No. We have a facility in Warm Springs. Oh, there it goes. So it just takes a little while. Okay, here's Warm Springs, okay? There's Miss Lillian self-storage. Okay, so Warm Springs, let me pull it up this way. Warm Springs is a population of 340 people. Okay, so that's like sub-tertiary. So if I zoom out, you can kind of see where it's at. Okay. That's where my facility is in Warm Springs. There's LaGrange, there's Thomaston. There's Columbus. Columbus, Georgia is like the biggest one. We're kind of in the middle. We're like no man's land, Georgia. No man's land, Georgia, okay, is where we're at. So a lot of people ask me, like, can you buy stuff in like tertiary markets or small facilities? Now we own this facility. Let me pull it up. I found this one exactly the same way I showed you the other ones. We just look on Google Maps, virtually drove for storage, called them, went out there and drove, talked to the owner. That's exactly the same way. Okay. This is it right here. It's 3 buildings, 1, 2, 3, it's 60 units. It's one of the very first storage facilities I bought. We picked it up for $100,000. Okay. So 60 units that's full at $100,000 should be worth between $500,000 and $600,000. Okay. We picked it up for $100,000. The owner, her husband died. He's the one that owned it, and she inherited it, and then she didn't want it. And she'd been trying to run it for the past year, and she just like, and actually half of the units were owned, like her family had something, had one for free or whatever. And which is like typical story that you hear all the time, right? And so we talked to her, I met her, and the same thing, she wanted more. She wanted like 200,000, but I talked her down to 100,000. And we put it under contract. It's all grass, so we have to get it mowed. And the mower, I think he lives here, or the landscape guy, he lives here. He lives in one of these houses over here. So he just goes over. Once he's mowing his lawn, he just walks over and just mows our lawn too. He's like, I can mow that for you. I'm like, please do, please just mow this. So he's been for like the past 4 or 5 years, or however long we've had this thing, he's been mowing that grass. And then here, this gate. It's a gate, like there's no like keypad and stuff like that. It's like has a lock on it with a combo lock. And so like when the tenant pays for the month, then they get the combo lock, right? And until then they don't have it. And so, and it changes every single month. So the landscape guy, he changes it every month. Okay. And that's really kind of how we run this thing. It's like super simple, super simple. And there's no lights, so at night you can't go there. Right? It's like super dark and stuff, So it's like it's very slow keys. We paid $100,000 for this. We'll probably sell. We're going to sell it eventually, but we'll sell for like $500,000. I'm thinking, something like this. It's a good price. I mean, it's actually it took us a good because they were full with a lot of crap in it, and it took us a good like 6 months to a year to clean it out and get it leased up. Because I mean, almost every unit was full of crap. And then there were some doors that were broken that we fixed and stuff. But we got it all leased up. I mean, that's 340 people in this town. And it's full. There's 60 units. Now within a 10-mile radius, there's 6,000 people. Okay, and there's not a lot of storage in this area. Okay. So in a tertiary market, you want to look at what the 10-mile radius looks like. What's the population? How many is there in a 10-mile radius? And then how many storage facilities are there, right? So this is a very good way for you to say, like, okay, what's the population of the 10-mile radius, and then what's the per cap, the square feet per capita, right? And that radius as well too. Okay. But so yes, you can find storage in like tertiary markets. Clean them up, lease them up and hold on to them and make money on them. Now, obviously, we don't make that much money on a deal like that on a monthly basis. I mean, there's not a lot of cash flow here. Right? There's not a lot of cash flow. Like you're not gonna be able to retire on this, right? But the thing I love about storage is the appreciation on the back end. And so we paid $100,000 for it. In fact, I didn't put any money into it. I borrowed $100 grand. The only money we put into it was just to fix it up and stuff, clean it up, dumpsters and things like that. But $100,000, I borrowed it from a private lender, and I pay him 8%. So I didn't put any money into buying it. Okay, and in the end, I'll make $300-400 grand on this thing. And in fact, we haven't even been to this facility probably in a year or so. Because like everybody that's in there, the one thing I love about tertiary is that they stay. Like we don't hardly have any move-ins and move-outs. Like they move in and then they just stay. Whereas like in primary market, you're like always in turning. You have to have somebody to manage it because it's always turning. But these types of facilities, people just stay. They just stay. Okay, so. Anyway, so I appreciate you guys hanging in for that. I kind of went over. I would consider this to be a sub-tertiary market. This is a very small town, and we bought this this is one of the first facilities. Like I bought this and I was just like, yeah, sounds like a good deal to me, but overall, I mean, I'm thinking of because we have 13 facilities right now, and this one is so easy to manage. We have a couple of them are just like pains in the butts. Like one of them, we have like security cameras that's in like a very populated area, and then it always gets broken into. It's like so annoying. And then you have this one that's in like this little tiny town, and like nothing bad ever happens to this. Nothing, like ever. We haven't even been to this facility. And that's why I love tertiary markets. So yeah, you may not be able to make millions of dollars on the back end, but you're going to make a couple $100,000 for doing nothing. I mean, that seems like a good deal to me, right? So that's kind of the point I wanted to show you. Okay. Now, what I wanted to do before we leave is I just wanted to remind you guys that, if you do the Monday nights, if you, let me share this. Let me share this here. Oh yeah, we're gonna do a share. Yeah, here it is. Okay. So if you do the Monday nights together with the course, which I'm looking at right now because I wanted to get into it and show y'all. Actually, let me just go here so I can have this right here. Yeah. So the course, and I wanted to show y'all real fast just what's in the course so that y'all have access to it. Let me find this. There it is. Okay. So inside the course, when you log in, right, get a little nice video, welcomes you. But this is what it looks like. All right, I can expand this. You have the Jumpstart course, which is modules 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is like Stacey, I just want to get started. Like, just tell me what to do. I want to get started. And so this is 4 hours of like taking you step by step. All right. How do I get started? Where do I do with marketing, acquisitions? How do I run numbers? This kind of thing. Okay. And then let me collapse this. It's not working. There it is. Okay. And then you have the 6-step system, which is how I teach. So you guys don't really realize this, but I'm taking you through like all of the steps. So the first step is like office, like self-storage 101, admin, getting started, right here. So I'm taking you through all this. Wholesaling, what's mismanaged, facilities, cash flow, new constructions, developing conversions, like setting up your Google Drive, all this kind of stuff, right? So I'm taking you through that. And then you get into marketing. And marketing is like, okay, how do I find these things? There's 15 different ways to find storage. Sparefoot. All right, how do you use that? Driving for storage, and then a couple of case studies. How did I find, how do I find abandoned storage facilities? How do I drive virtually? So it kind of gets you all the different ways that you can utilize Landglide, everything that you can do inside for finding facilities. Okay. Acquisitions is the next step. So now you got something under contract, right? All right, so now you found something. Now you want to get something under contract, right? So you're going through like the case study. You're going through the due diligence checklist. You're going through, unit sizes. What do you need for your deal analysis? What do you look for in a unit? So let's just like click on due diligence. The due diligence checklist is again like, how do I do my due diligence? Okay. And so inside the course, you'll have access to the due diligence checklist. So you can click that and download it. So there's templates and stuff included as well. Okay. I just wanted to make sure y'all knew that there's a whole bunch of templates. You just click on it. There's a video. I go over how to go over the due diligence checklist. All right. And we do that for there's a good amount of videos that also have templates that go with it. Okay. And then we have access to the then once you get it under contract, right? This is all getting it under contract, filling out the purchase and sale contract, storage letters to owners, the deal analyzer, cap rate, this kind of stuff is all there. Okay. Finance. How do you raise money? How do you talk to private lenders? How do you fund these things? So like we kind of go through that. The management is like all the different ways to manage, Sparefoot, Storable, adding your Google listing. Like I told you, you have to get on Google listings, this kind of stuff. So we take you through the auction process, all this. My husband comes in and teaches a lot of this stuff because that's kind of what he does for us. Okay. That's the management. And then we've got some bonus speakers here. So we've got like, Guy teaches like how to market for tenants. And then also Charlie teaches like how to find attorneys that will help you. And then Joe, it teaches you like how to do deal analysis. There's a lot of really good speakers in here. Like these are all like friends of mine in the industry and stuff that I asked to give me some stuff to put in here for y'all. Okay. And then wholesaling. I also teach wholesaling, right? How do you wholesale self-storage? So that's included into the course. Okay. All the different ways that you can wholesale self-storage. And then the Monday night replays, we have a whole set of Monday night replays. The biggest, the most popular Monday night replays are all here because these are only live, right? Only my students get access to the Monday night replays. You have to be live in order to see these things, okay? So we put the best ones here so you can watch those as well. And then also I did my 12 case studies, my facilities. Every single facility that I've done, excuse me, how did I find it? How did I fund it? How did I run it? And so that's all here as well too. So you can go through every single one of my case studies. So this is what the course looks like. It's everything included. And we're always adding stuff. I mean, I can only do so much, so I add as much as I can when I have time and stuff, right? So as we do more things, we added the let me see, where did we add? Where did we put the the magic offer letter? That one we just added that, right, with the 4 offers in it. Let me see if I can open this up. So that's in here. So it's going slow, but that's a video of me going over the magic offer letter. How do you use it? How do you put 4 offers in? Right, that's kind of what that's about. So there's all kinds of stuff. So I really think that like coming to the Monday nights plus the course, right? Here's me going over the magic offer letter, and then you can just download it, and then you have a template for that, so you can use it. Okay. But I really feel like coming back, you coming to the Mondays when I feel better, obviously, hopefully next week I'll feel better. And then the course together is really gonna help you achieve your goals for this year. You really wanna find a storage facility and buy one. This is what's gonna help you, okay? So again, we sell the course online for $19.97, but I think Ariel puts a link in for you. It's like $1,000 off, right? So if you use that link, you can buy that, okay? You can buy the course as well. So I just want to let everybody know about that, remind everybody. I've never actually really gone over the course in here, so I figured I would just do it today as well. Okay. So again, I apologize for being sick, and I hope you guys come back next Monday and we'll do funding. A lot of the funding stuff is what we're gonna do, okay? And then let's see, I gotta hop off and I gotta go to my pitch now, so I gotta do that. So let me stop share here. And I think that's it, actually. Yeah, leave this. Cancel. Leave. Okay, good. So I think that's it. I wish I had more time to answer your questions. I appreciate you guys hanging on to the end. I know it was like bad, but I will see you guys at the next session. Okay. Take care.